top 10 worst movies of 2024 because everybody like to see the worst movies more than watching the best. So I don't know, but it's what they like to do. Now, we had an early premiere, which is only a couple days early, for Better Man that comes out this Friday. So today they gave us an early preview of it, and we sat down and screened the movie. And this is a true story, or what they want to call biography of based on the book of Robbie Williams' life, the British pop star band member from a group called Take That, British boy band, pop band that got really popular, and Robbie Williams became synonymous with success and everything wrapped into it. Most Americans wouldn't understand who Robbie Williams was or whatever. So they decided to make this interesting to Americans by making his character an animated monkey. Like, we're looking at a monkey, but everybody else sees Robbie, but this is how he saw himself, as ugly and odd and different. It was a symbol of how he was viewing himself and how others he felt viewed him coming up. That he was always less than. And it was very well directed. It's directed by the people and produced by the people who did The Greatest Showman. I don't know if it makes a noise at the box office. This is a British comedy, British dialogue. A lot of dialogue you probably won't understand. But this is based on his life. And it's basically a journey of somebody who wanted to be successful. His father was grooming him for success. His father left early to chase his dreams. And he kind of resented that his father wasn't around for his years growing up, as his father was out there on the road, you know, performing in dirtbag hotels, 15 people in there, just so he can entertain them and do his thing, you know. And that was like his father's dream, you know, to get on this big stage and be able to perform in front of everybody. But he wanted to reach a point where he said he didn't care if it was 1 or 15. He just wanted to make sure he was going to bring his very best, no matter what transpired. And that's how he carried himself. But he would neglected his family in the process. And it had a lifelong effect on Robbie Williams, who got into the boy band, Take That. And as they were in the band, the manager really didn't like him, didn't think they needed him. And he thought he could sing better than the lead singer. And the lead singer was the star of the group, you know. And he felt he should have been the star. He started partying, getting wild, and he was normally the wild one out the bunch. And eventually the band told him, you know, they think that he should, you know, leave the band. And it was a whole life journey for Robbie Williams, you know, going to being this big success in this band to feeling empty, bottling out, getting in car accidents, doing a lot of different acts that didn't make a lot of sense to certain people. And a lot of people took things that he did for granted, you know, and they didn't understand how his performances and the things that he did was going to matter in the sheer walk and talk of things down the road. And it actually did matter. So it's an impressive feat. Directorial wise, there was a lot of great shots. I mean, I give it 3 stars out of 4. The only reason I don't give it 4 stars, that I felt at certain points it had a pacing issue where it kind of confused you a little bit, which going back in time, going forward in time, is this part of the story? So you can get lost a little bit. I think the director was showing off a bit too much where he could lose his audience, because at a certain point in this movie where that pacing issue came in, I saw a lot of people start grabbing their phones during that time. So that little gap, it wasn't a huge enough gap, but to kind of go from that point to where they were at, if you didn't know what was happening and didn't see it, you didn't know if this was an imagination or like what happened here. You're trying to piece it all together as it's moving forward, but you're kind of guessing, and pretty much they're assuming the audience is smarter than what they're perceived to be. Americans have been dumbed down. So I'm telling the British filmmakers, Americans have been dumbed down. They're not going to a lot of them are not going to piece that together. Oh, thanks. Yeah, man, I just had some weird people drive by my house, so I had to grab the heat and ride around. I had your live stream playing in the crib too, right before we pulled off. Y'all must have just got off the live stream. Yeah, I got the inspector coming over tomorrow from the insurance company. We got farmers. Bum, 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 bum. So it's a lot of ugly going on in the situation that just doesn't seem to apply. And naturally, when people see ugly things materialize, they don't hesitate when it comes to saying, hey, I need to do this, or hey, I need to do that. They let it accumulate. And when they let things accumulate, it becomes a massive problem down the line. And that's like expenses and costs that people can't afford to make. But you start seeing this guy spiral. He got with another band member from a female group, and they both were drinking and hanging out, and she was okay with his, habits, until he just got so far out of control that it was too much for her to deal with. So the response, and all the stuff she was dealing with him, and she had a #1 song on the radio. He wasn't even excited for her. It was he was so numb by drugs, and then the fact that you see certain situations happen in the film that really hurt him and bothered him, that he never got a chance to really correct. Then because of his habits and everything that was going on with him that he couldn't shake, and she was there for it, he took advantage of her and just consumed more and more drugs. No matter how big he was getting, he just seemed to be drowning himself in more drugs and was miserable. And the way to express that with an animated character or with CGI is crazy. Because we, the people watching it on the screen, only see him as the monkey. Everybody else see him as himself. So it was a creative way to tell your story, because now people are going to be drawn in, because they're like, what's this with this monkey? You know, and they're going to be paying attention to the story instead of you saying better man, and they just put a picture of Robbie Williams on there. You'd be like, well, who the hell is he? We don't understand. So he told the story as himself as being a monkey, because that's how they looked at him, like he was an alien or something different. So it was a great analogy on telling the story. I know, man. I had to patrol the neighborhood. I was right behind them dudes too, and they parked in somebody's driveway. Now they could be Uber Eats, but to move like that and you Uber Eats, man, I don't believe they Uber Eats. They gonna be Uber sleep at midnight. Who ordering something around here at midnight? They're around here casing the joint. They ain't gonna case the wrong place. They're gonna get put in the case forever. But shout out HD. I'm gonna get up out of here. So Better Man comes out this Friday everywhere. It's a good watch, you know, it's an inspirational movie. Definitely it's a do not do this. Don't go down this path. But it's the life story of Robbie Williams. So is that the cops? Let me get a no, that's somebody's company. But he looking like the damn cops. ICE. Oh no, that's a construction company. I was gonna say, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I gotta be on. I'm on edge tonight. Shoot, anybody can get it. And I ain't got a problem with taking out the witness. Oh, you saw what happened?